So we actually see from Xiao Mei, who actually told everyone about Landred fell victim of the Chrono Hag's appetite, which Eden Zero have escaped not only the planet, but Eden's One's pursuit, who is the main villain of the series, which right now we headed back to the Sakura Cosmos, where the heroes have mixed feelings about what happened, which we see what happened 7 days. And of course, knowing of how Holy have returned to the Interstellar Union Army after being healed, which we see how the Horatio Saints Galactica was all but defeated, and the Interstellar Union Army have lost half its numbers, knowing of how she finally defeated Dead End Pro, in which she was about to arrest Shiki after defeating Crow, but knowing of how she would have actually arrested him, but she decided not to, as the crew have their mothers return to the home planets so they can give them a proper burial and say their goodbyes and pay their respects. However, the sole survivor Saintfire Nox decided to stay and will waken up, which we see how Connor told Rebecca that he is her father, which a shock to Rebecca, which we knew how he didn't say anything first, but we knew how we see Rachel and Connor knew of how they were actually realized of how Feather attacked, which they left the guild, in which Carter stayed behind, which he was alone with Nolan. Normally, how all of them was orphaned, we can tell how they have gotten a bond they actually have with each other back at the cosmos, knowing of how they knew how they're going to realize how they are all will ask the guildmaster about what they need to know, which of course, knowing of Carter actually saw Rebecca for the first time and shedding tears, knowing of how she knew that he abandoned her when she was a child, knowing of how Rebecca had done the same thing, in which they do actually have similarities, which they are daughter and father, knowing of how we see Hermit actually reminded her of how Carter talks about camera angles, which we see how they actually realize that he is watching her videos, in which back at the bath area, we knew how they are still talking about Carter, knowing of how they have also knew how the kids who are still out there never get the chance to see their parents, in which we knew how La Villa actually have the same thing, that it happened when she saw the video of Rebecca telling her that she doesn't have any parents, knowing of how Homura is actually wants to battle Kill, in which we knew how Elsie's crew is still looking for her, Gorin, and Kyoga, which Shiki didn't bring himself into telling them the truth, which he said that Elsie tell, have chosen her path, in which Clown, who was still alive, knowing of how they are actually interrogating him, knowing of how they are actually trying to figure out who built the ship, which is Siki, in which they gave a mind of its own, which they actually look into Clown's memory and saw Sister Ivory, in which she was actually sick, which we see Clown as a doctor, which is actually alright since he's look exactly like a handsome man, but his hair still the same, but his face actually look amazing. I mean, I thought he was actually a creepy guy, but we see how his memories actually reveal of him in Sister Ivory, who actually revealed that Saintfire Nox has waken up. So we're going to see what she's going to look at Rebecca as her daughter. So Connor has revealed himself to Rebecca as her father, which we knew how things would be complete insane, but we see the memory of Sister Ivory and Clown, who looks incredible as well. But Sister Ivory informs everyone that Saintfire Nox has woken up, aka Rachel, in which everybody would have seen the similarity between Rebecca's parents and Lucy's parents from Fairy Tale, which Carter looked exactly like Jude, and Rebecca looked exactly like Layla, knowing of how there are similarities. But we're going to see what's going to happen on the next chapter next weekend. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment what you think about the manga chapter. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and my Facebook page and Twitch. Until then, this is Anime Guy Jordan here saying sign out. Laters, and be safe.